My guest today has already been the Prime Minister of Pakistan twice, and now as Benazir Bhutto gets set to make a dramatic return to her homeland after 8 years, many believe that she will occupy that seat possibly for a historic third time. Either way, as Benazir Bhutto packs her bags and ends her exile to go home, it will be another distinct chapter in Pakistan's turbulent and volatile history. Benazir Bhutto, thank you very much for speaking to NDT. Let me ask you the obvious question. There is intense speculation in the subcontinent, especially in Pakistan, about whether you will actually be in Pakistan on the 18th as scheduled by the time this interview is on television stations across South Asia.
Of course, I'm going to be in Pakistan on the 18th as scheduled. In my long years of exile, I had never previously given a date. And now that I have given a date, I will keep my commitment to the people of Pakistan, who are the source of my strength and also the source of my inspiration to go on.
But you've seen the sort of little covert pleas coming out of Pakistan right now. General Musharraf giving interviews saying it would be best if she returned a little later after all the court judgments are in place. Do you think he's panicking?
Well, I can't answer for General Musharraf, but certainly I have seen the statements from the President, the Prime Minister, the Chief Ministers, all trying to either persuade me not to come, intimidate me into not coming, and I'm not going to be intimidated. I've made my decision and I'm returning for better or for worse.
Why do you think it is that they want to postpone your return?
I think they want to postpone my return because they fear that the mass support the People's Party will generate will sweep aside the artificial structures that were put into place by the intelligence agencies.
So they're scared of you?
Well, perhaps they don't want to face the people in the court of the people. They have done their politics from the shoulders of the military, and my party's effort is to take the country towards democracy. And if we move towards democracy, then the anti-people forces are certainly going to lose. So maybe they are scared.
I noticed you draw a distinction between the ruling party and General Pervez Musharraf. The sense, though, in Pakistan, if you just open the newspapers, and I'm sure you followed the news there, is Pervez Musharraf has struck some sort of compromise with you, but now he's scared of actually taking the genie out of the bottle. He's scared of what he may unleash when you go back.
See, the way I look at things, there are people in place, and we are all stakeholders for different reasons. What I've tried to do is put together the players who are already in the field to move the country towards democracy. And so General Musharraf and I have been holding negotiations for making this transition to democracy. I think General Musharraf has shown a degree of flexibility at critical moments of his political life. For example, after 9/11, Islamabad changed its policy on the Taliban. Or after Kargil, Islamabad changed its policy with India and began a composite dialogue. So I hope that this is a change of policy from dictatorship to democracy, although it's early days yet and too soon to predict.
You know what your critics are saying in Pakistan. Some of them were supporters of yours, never believed that you would do a deal, as they say, with Pervez Musharraf. Does that word bother you, do a deal with Musharraf?
It doesn't bother me because I know it's inaccurate.
Why is it inaccurate?
It's inaccurate because if I had wanted to do a deal with a military dictator, then General Musharraf took over in 1999. And at that time, I may tell you that I was also approached by some people as an interim prime minister, and I refused because I believe in democracy.
Yet look at the circumstances in which you are living. There is this very contentious National Reconciliation Ordinance that the Supreme Court is still to pronounce a final judgment on. Here's how somebody could say it to you. Pervez Musharraf offered to take back the dozen corruption charges against you and your husband. You've got a good deal going. This is a good time for you to return because you won't be put behind bars. Isn't that a deal?
No, it's not a deal. Because it begs the question that when this was on the table as way back as 2000, why didn't I take it then? I would have got my husband released without 8 years in prison. I wouldn't have had to be hauled up before a Swiss magistrate or have Interpol notices, or have my name dragged in mud. I faced character assassination. My father was physically murdered, and through these long years of negotiations, many people did deals. Mr. Nawaz Sharif did a deal. that got him to go to Saudi Arabia and not complete the sentence for treason and tax evasion.
But he broke that deal and tried to go back to Pakistan.
After 8 years. But he did do a deal. He escaped prison and weakened the democratic forces. No one from the court or the, intervened. Mr. Abdul Qadir Khan admitted that he sold nuclear secrets and he was pardoned and nobody intervened. And I am somebody who has proclaimed her innocent. And I'm still innocent and never been convicted of any crime. But the national ordinance has nothing to do with me.
Hasn't it been written up exactly for you?
No, it has not been written up exactly for me. It's been written up to take the country towards democracy. For example, as part of these negotiations, as I had said even to Indian reporters as early as the spring, that PPP could not work with a uniform presidency.